Hi, I'm Kat, and today I'm showing you how to make this miniature matching wreath and garland set that fits on top of the fireplace that I made last week. I hope you enjoy. I started with a bottle of Snow-Tex that I had around the house. Of course, you can use any bottle or jar that you'd like, as long as it's about the size of the wreath that you're trying to make. And then I wrapped wire around it. I twisted the tail end around the wire, and then I added another piece just to make sure that all the loops were pieced together. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just want a basic skeleton for your wreath. And because mine was going to be green, I wanted to paint it green so that the metal would blend in a little easier. I'm using Lycopodium, which is a type of moss. It's also called princess pine, and it's commonly used for dollhouse miniature trees and whatnot. Now, it's got a woody stem and then very fluffy, soft fronds. So we're going to use the frond part. I cut that into tiny little pieces that are about the length of my fingernail. And then, using some glue, I glued them to the wreath base. The first set I glued so that the thinner part of the frond faced outward, and the second part I glued so that the thinner part of the frond faced inward. Then you can continue to add more layers, facing outward, and then finally facing straight ahead. And just continue to add fronds until your wreath is nice and fluffy. Make sure the sides are covered, and then you can cut off whatever excess on the inside if you'd like. I left mine because it gives it a more natural appearance. And then I'm using a block of fairly new Fimo, and this is just to make a bow. When I was a child, my mother would make me do this with my 2 fingers holding them out, but I didn't have another person to hold out 2 fingers, so I'm using these 2 skewer sticks that I've cut off and putting them inside the clay. Of course, you can also use toothpicks if you have those handy, or any other sort of dowels. And then I'm looping this thin piece of satin ribbon around it. At the end, you can tie one piece, or loop one piece under and loop one piece over, and then tie them off in the middle. Pull tightly, and then if you'd like, you can fluff out your bow a little bit more. Then you can glue it on your wreath. Arrange the tails of the ribbon however you'd like, and moving on to the garland, you're going to use the woodsy stems of the pieces of Lycopodium. Loosely wrap 2 pieces of wire together, and then use a 3rd piece of wire to wrap the Lycopodium pieces to the wires. Now you can start gluing on additional fronds. I'm using 3 pieces on each side, or 3 pieces at each layer, with each of the layers overlapping. And then I'm starting on one end and working my way towards the middle. Then of course complete the other end and work towards the middle, And in the middle, you can cut the little frond pieces into half so that they're half the size of your fingernail, and kind of stick them not quite straight up, but at slight angles. And then I'm using 3 balls of clay in gray, brown, and white for my ornaments. And these are just simple ornaments, but it's the best type to do. And then I just dip them in pearlized paint, white, silver, and gold. And I dip some of them into white, silver, and gold glitter. I also added a little bit of gold paint to the edges of my bow, and then just rearranged the ornaments on top of the garland and the wreath. I'm using these extra pearls that I have from Morsey Moore, and the link will be in my description box. You can buy them on eBay. And then I glued these in clusters all over the wreaths and the garland. And that's it. Simple project. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.